you can get back on at Highway 20. Stay safe out there, everyone. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain, a high of 80 degrees. Tonight, a slight chance continues for that rain, a low of 59. For your Monday, mostly cloudy with rain likely, a high of 83. Tuesday, slight chance of rain early and then becoming sunny, warm and humid, a high of 85. Wednesday, very humid and warm, a chance of showers late, high of 92. Thursday, storms are likely, staying warm and humid, a high of 91. Friday, rain comes back with a chance, with a high of 85. Right now in Madison, it's 68. In Waukesha, it's 67. In Green Bay, it's 63. And in Milwaukee, it's mostly sunny and 64 degrees. I'm Tiff Bua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:09.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
You mentioned Banana Ball.
Banana Ball!
Everybody I talked to who wanted to go couldn't get tickets, and yet it's a sellout.
I tried 4 different times to get tickets for my family, and no luck.
Oh, my God. You're not the only one. Everybody I talked to who wanted to go said they tried, and they couldn't get the tickets. So I don't know who's out there, but they were very lucky if they got the tickets.
Yeah, sold out crowds both yesterday and expected for today. So the game today is earlier. The parking lot is going to open in the next 2 hours. It's a 5-hour, fun at the ballpark in the parking lot, even before the ballpark opens. Go Banana Ball.
I love it. All right, Jeff. Well, you're here with us this morning. Thanks for coming in on a Sunday morning. We'll talk to you a little bit later on. But before we do anything else, let's turn to TMJ4 meteorologist Jacob Montesano. Jacob, you finally brought us that rain that we wanted.
A lot more of it this week. Just you wait. Thankfully, it should hold off until tomorrow.
All right, so we've got a good Sunday. But now, what's this where you said that we're going to see a lot more this week? What's bringing the rain to us finally?
Yeah, so we're going to have a few rounds of showers and thunderstorms throughout the work week. So for today, we are expecting dry conditions to continue. We'll see maybe a few isolated showers far southwest, kind of like near Lake Geneva in the evening, but that'll be just about it. I expect dry conditions for the city of Milwaukee and most of our region today. Temperatures not quite as warm as yesterday, but still nice. 70s lakeside, near 80 for areas farther westward. Once we get to the overnight hours, we are going to see a little bit of a better chance of rain. Still mostly light tonight. Tomorrow could see a few showers and thunderstorms, especially later in the day into Monday night. Right now, they're not expected to be severe, but definitely could produce some heavy rainfall. And it's not a slam dunk that every area will see this rainfall. It'll be kind of scattered for different parts of the region, but a pretty good chance nonetheless. Most of that clears out. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you, Jacob, what's our traditional rainfall for this time of year in June?
Well, we usually get a little over around 3.5 to 4 inches of rain, kind of similar to what May usually gets. Now, obviously, May this year, we didn't really get much at all. In fact, a lot of areas Friday got more rain Friday than all of May. So the forecast this week with, several chances of rain, that is more typical for June because this is roughly the wettest time of the year for us.
Okay, so hopefully we'll be on schedule then. It's not going to be another dry May. Would you say that, is there any day this week that's going to be a total washout?
It's hard. Thursday looks like the best chance because Tuesday, that rain that I was talking about tomorrow, it looks to clear out really early Tuesday. The rest of Tuesday looking dry. Wednesday will be dry for at least the first half. Some storms are possible later in the evening and overnight. And then Thursday, we have a little bit of better chance of rainfall earlier in the day. And both Wednesday and Thursday, I should say both Wednesday night and Thursday could produce some severe weather as those temperatures are really going to be warming up. As you mentioned, just before I came on, the highs are expected to get into the 90s for most of the area Wednesday, Thursday, and it will bring in some high humidity levels. So it's going to be damp. So
the good news is today, if you got plans outside, you should be okay.
Yeah, you'll be very good. I mean, maybe if you're like right along the lake, you might need a light sweater, but beyond that, it's going to be another very nice day. A very typical day for this time of year. A very typical good day, I should say, because obviously Wednesday and Thursday, even when it's not raining, it's going to be a little warm and maybe a little uncomfortable at times.
So, Jacob, were you able to get Banana Ball tickets?
No, but I'm not as interested as you are. But yeah, I have heard how like crazy this is. Is it the same thing? I apologize. Is this the same as the Savannah Bananas, or is that completely different?
No. This is all I don't think we have the Savannah Banana in town. I think now they've got different teams that they send out on the road. But yes, it's all part of that same group where it's all about entertainment and a little bit about baseball.
Yeah, I feel like their games are always on like the TV on like a random like weekday night when you're going out to eat, like in the restaurants. I see that all the time.
Well, I think there's a lot of people, obviously, sell out yesterday, sell out today. There's going to be a lot of people who are there today, and I think they're going to be glad that you brought them. Good weather on this Sunday afternoon. Jacob Montesano, always great to have you here.
Thank you. I love doing it.
Thank you. It's 8:14 on WTMJ. Busy show ahead. New at 9, we are going to take a deep dive, speaking of baseball, into the newest phenom at the baseball park. Tarps off. And that's right. WTMJ's Alex Strofe is going to be joining us. And stick around, because I think I'll ask him if he plans to take his shirt off. Okay, there also have been a number of black bear sightings in southeastern Wisconsin. We're going to talk with one of the residents who saw a bear in her backyard this week. And another thing you may have heard about. Did you ever hear the term hot girl summer? Well, now hot girls are going to give back in a somewhat unusual way. We're going to tell you about that. Tim Gibbons, the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, is here. He's talking potties and parking today. Can't wait to hear that one. Also, Sandy Max is dropping by. She is so excited because she's going to be co-hosting a watch party for the Tonys, and she's also going to tell us about some local connections. Also, a little bit later on this morning, our consumer expert warns us about something called juice jacking, and we will also share a preview of my conversation with a former Kenosha police officer who shot and killed Michael Bell after a routine traffic stop in 2004. We're going to take a look back at the week in review. Tip Poo is in the newsroom. We've got Isaac here pushing all those buttons. And coming up in just 2 minutes, it's Everyday Hero on WTMJ. I'm Libby Collins. It's 8:16 and 64 degrees.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
8:18 at WTMJ, and it's time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's Eric Bilstead.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's Morning News celebrates an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to western Michigan, the Kalamazoo area, 3 Rivers to be exact. Storms were brewing that day, and it was busy at Applebee's. There was 50-plus customers in the restaurant, some at the bar, some at the tables, enjoying a dinner, when the weather really started to turn. It was really whipping up outside, getting really windy.
I heard everybody's phone going off, like blaring. Like every guest, bartender, everybody.
Aubrey McKenzie, the manager of Applebee's, speaking to Fox 17 News. Yeah, tornado warnings were going off. So what do you do in this situation if you're Aubrey? Well, without missing a beat, she starts yelling for everyone to get into the kitchen for shelter.
I knew that what my position was in this building and what I needed to do, so I tried to remain calm and get everybody to where they needed to be.
Now, put yourself in her position for a second. This young woman starts to raise her voice. She's ordering everyone, young and old, to get up from their table, to walk away from their warm food and get into the kitchen. You know how this goes. Not everyone is always interested in listening. It can be a little bit awkward, but she's able to do it. She got them all to take her seriously. They get into the kitchen, and that's when the storm hits.
Your ears were popping. It was loud. Like, you would, by the sound of it, you would think these walls weren't going to hold.
The storm turned out to be an EF2 tornado. It caused major damage, especially to the Menards next door.
Everything that flew off of Menards hit us.
Cars in the parking lot were damaged. Windows were shattered. There was even, from the debris that was thrown, paneling all dinged up inside of the Applebee's. Had people been sitting there, God knows what would have happened. So does Aubrey think she's a hero, bringing all these people to safety?
I've been called hero a lot lately, and I laugh it off, but I don't know. I just felt like I did what I was supposed to do.
Well, thank you, Aubrey McKenzie, for leading, for saving, for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Coming up in just a couple minutes, which is more important, potties or parking? Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Journal is going to tell us right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
My name is Sherry, and I'm a real client of Gruber Law Offices. Gruber Law Offices took care of everything so I could focus on getting better. I only really did one thing, and that was call them.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The mountains are calling, and so are the highlights.
Hit in the air. This is deep. Up into the night. Back goes Doyle. Track. Wall. See you later, Bryce Terrain.
The climb continues as the Brewers take on the Rockies at Coors Field.
Wow, Yelich demolishes one up into the night sky. All the way back to the wall.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 1:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
It's time to check in with Tim Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And as always, Tim, there's so much that's gone on this past week. Now, tell us about Marty Brooks at the Wisconsin Center. Now, according to your story in the Milwaukee Business Journal, he hasn't been allowed to come in the office the past week or so?
Yeah, so this is that tension between Marty and the board of the Wisconsin Center District, which oversees the Baird Center and Panther Arena and Miller High Life Theater. So Marty's been there. Marty was the one who basically got the Baird Center expansion built. So, he had a big impact, but in recent days, the story there at the Wisconsin Center District has been one of tension. So we've been covering this for several months with board members upset for different reasons with how a study was done over what should be the future of the convention center, or of the Wisconsin Center District assets. So that has been coming to a head in recent days. We had a kind of in-depth look last week at what's causing all the tension, but this coming week, things are expected to come to a head. There is a meeting scheduled on Monday that is to discuss his future employment. As you referenced, for the past several days, he's been working remote. The attorneys for the Wisconsin Center District have instructed him to not come into the office. So he has been working out of state and has said that basically he's not allowed to do anything substantial. So clearly the next steps are board separation. In that type of position, that could become an expensive proposition. So a couple different ways that somebody in his position can be let go. If they do it for what's called for convenience, basically the board just decides they don't want to hire him anymore, they have to pay out some percentage of his contract. So Marty makes about $400,000 a year, and his contract runs through the end of next year. So there could be a payday if they just ask him to leave, or they can fire him. They can say that they're dismissing him for cause, then they wouldn't have to pay him, but then they'd have to face some legal action, because firing for cause requires the board to prove that there was cause, and that's going to be a fraught sort of conversation. So yeah, there's a closed door meeting on Monday, and part of that swirls around the negotiations of how this leave taking will take place.
Stay tuned for that one. All right, let's talk about TOSA, because there are a lot of people kind of excited that there might be a big new grocery store coming to town, and you've got some inside info on that.
Yeah, so this is going to be an exciting project, and you're right, people are buzzing. There's a development company called Luther Group, and the principal of that group spoke exclusively to the Business Journal, their plans and their details on what they're doing. This is a corner across from City Hall in TOSA. There was plans to make a residential development there, but the economies of doing residential developments are so tough these days. So that plan, which has been worked on for the past couple of years, is not coming together. Instead, Luther Group is doing a grocery store, a specialty grocery store. They will not tell us what the specialty grocery store is, but talking to people in the know, signs point to it being a Trader Joe's.
Ooh.
So, yes, don't get
Notice my
excited.
excitement.
Stay tuned for us to confirm that, but people go nuts over Trader Joe's. That is definitely a high likelihood that is at least being considered for that site.
I love Trader Joe's. That's some of the best news I've heard in a little while. All right, we are talking with Tim Gibbons. He's editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And while we're talking about construction, tell us about what's going on with the Clark Building conversion. They put this on hold?
Yeah, so I referenced a moment ago that it's tough times in the residential construction space. So Jay Jeffers is a developer who's been working on converting the Clark Building into apartments. So conversions are simple. Conversions are simple to describe. They're not simple to do, but conversions are simple where we have offices that are emptying just over, basically post-pandemic, work from home, all that sort of stuff. And we have a need for housing. So some bright minds are like, well, let's turn offices into apartments. Not quite as easy to do as it is to say, but this is a case where that was the plan, to convert this building, which basically is a mostly empty office building, into apartments. So earlier this week, that project received federal and state housing tax credits. I don't want to go into those weeds, but that's a really good thing for the project to receive. But the developer still says it's not enough because of the huge spike in construction costs. When that project started, it was going to cost about $64 million. It's now expected to cost somewhere between $80 and $90 million.
That is a tremendous increase. And you're seeing that across the board in construction projects, too.
It is. I spent some time digging into the St. Louis Federal Reserve collects a bunch of data on consumer price things. And if you look at the cost of goods used in construction, it is at the highest level ever.
Anybody who's tried to do any sort of update around their home can certainly attest to that. All right, Tim, let's move on. We've been talking over the last couple of weeks, Tim, about the Milwaukee mission and their attempt to build a project in New Berlin. Where does that stand as of today?
It definitely stands somewhere. This is Schrodinger's project right now, and we're going to have to wait a little bit to get a really firm answer, but to bring listeners up to speed. So this is the project where the Milwaukee Rescue Mission wants to build a facility that would be used to help addicts in recovery. And the sticking point is the project has been classified as a church. It's a religious-based ministry sort of thing. But residents in the area say it's not a church, it's a residential healthcare facility, basically, is what they think it should be zoned as. So there's a fight over, is the project properly zoned? And the meaning of that fight is, depending on how it is zoned, the project will either go ahead or not. So the Board of Appeals met. They heard from residents and from the developer and from the rescue mission. They got written briefs. They met in a closed-door session, and they made a decision, and then they didn't announce it. And people in the room were not happy with that. So the actual announcement of that decision is expected to come in a couple weeks.
Okay, speaking of not being happy, if it's Sunday, it must be Data Center Update.
Data Center
Tim,
Sunday!
Take it away. What's going on this week?
So this is actually interesting because it's not about data centers. I mean, it is about data centers, but it's not about a new data center coming. Although, stay tuned because in a week or two, we're going to have a deep dive into some data center economic stuff.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's what you live for, you know? So this is the impact that data centers have on other companies. Two big kind of manufacturing announcements that I'll just run through real quick. Relco, which is planning to open an assembly facility in Kenosha that let it ramp up production to deal with demand from data centers. We're still getting some of the details on exactly where that assembly plant will be, but it will make these enclosures that will basically protect and house large industrial generators. Speaking of generators, those are coming from a company called Generac, which is also expanding. They signed an agreement worth about $600 million to build these mega generators for a hyperscale data center. So nice little synergy of local companies here who are providing the behind-the-scenes things that are necessary for these projects to move ahead.
And finally, Tim, let's hit the danger zone because the Milwaukee Air Show hits the throttle with a new owner. Tell us what you found out.
It does. So I got to sit down with Brian Allendorfer, who is the new owner of the Milwaukee Air Show. As you know, I came here a couple years ago from Florida where I covered military stuff, and I'm a big fan of air shows. I've gotten to fly with the Blue Angels and aerobatic pilots and all of that. So always a fun thing to write about. But it was great to talk to Brian, who has been involved with the air show for a while. He has a company that manages air shows like this, but now he's the owner of it. So he's based in Chicago, has a family-owned construction company that's his day job, and now he is the owner of the Milwaukee Air and Water Show. And he has big plans in store, both in the air, and this is the thing that fascinates me, on the ground. The two big things are changing how parking is done and having more toilets. Neither of those sound terribly, ooh, wow. But think about the experience of going to the air show. Parking and potties are the thing that make or break the experience, and that's some of the things he's focused on.
Well, Tim, I can't thank you enough for updating us on parking and potties this Sunday morning. Tim Gibbons is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal.
It is great to talk to you.
Have a great week, Tim.
You too.
Affordable glass and mirror home decor ideas will go as far as your style and imagination will take them. But not everyone has the time to think up new ways to make our products work for their home. So here are some ideas that could really take your home style to the next level. A great way to visually enlarge a small space is to add mirrors. We're seeing mirrored closet doors come back in style, but now they call them reflective storage units. And if they're done right, they can be quite appealing. Make your minimal bedroom more expansive looking with a wall of mirrors. Or how about a mirrored backsplash in your kitchen? Mirror front kitchen cabinets look really sleek. If you bring us the milled out cabinet doors, we'll install mirrors and your kitchen gets an instant style upgrade. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God. Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Running just a couple minutes late, but at 8:33 we have Tiff Pua in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And Tiff, tell us about this man who was working on his boat and it caught fire?
Yeah, that's the story we're covering here from Sheboygan County. A man is recovering, as Libby said, after his boat catches on fire in Sheboygan County. Sheriff's deputies responded around 7 o'clock Saturday night to reports of a fire in a pole shed on Dooley Road in the town of Linden. The man was working on his boat inside the shed when it caught fire. Deputies say he was able to get the boat out of the shed before the fire spread. He suffered minor injuries. The shed had minor smoke damage. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. U.S. Representative Mark Pocan said he wrote a letter to RFK Jr. urging him to stop taxpayer money from funding research facilities using animals in the fallout of the Ridgeland Farms controversy. He tells WTMJ,
I think we're realizing that this is kind of maybe a slightly antiquated, barbaric way of dealing with research, and that, you don't necessarily have to harm dogs or other animals in the same way. Given, the advances we have with things like AI and other research. So there are fewer and fewer facilities. In this case, this facility just had an awful lot of violations.
More than 30 members of Congress signed the letter from both sides of the aisle. And bus riders on the Milwaukee County Transit System will see several changes starting today. That includes the return of weekday midday service for 4 routes. MCTS is also adjusting schedules for 15 routes. Those include the southbound Blue Line to follow a new route near 64th Street and Villard Avenue. Route 66 will continue serving UWM and the Upper East Side on weekdays throughout the summer, and you can find all the bus route changes by texting the word BUS, B-U-S, to the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We've been reporting it all morning. 94 North is closed at County KR to State Highway 11 because of this 6-car crash. Now, it looks like the emergency vehicles are trying to get the last of the cars off the highway. This happened around 4 a.m., so they're finally getting this all cleaned up. We know a couple of people have been injured, but the highway is closed. They're going to force you to exit at 1st Street, and they can get back on the highway around Highway 20. That's 94 North, closed at County KR because of a crash. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain late, a high of 80 degrees. Tonight, that rain continues with a low of 59. For your Monday, mostly cloudy with rain likely, a high of 83. Tuesday, a slight chance of rain early, becoming sunny, windy, and warm, a high of 85. For your Wednesday, very humid and warm, chance of rain late, a high of 92. Thursday, storms are likely, that humidity remains, a high of 91. Rain continues on Friday with a high of 85. Right now in East Troy, it's 70 degrees. In Greenleaf, it's 66. And in Milwaukee, it's partly sunny and 65 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 8:37.
Tiff, I want to ask you about that crash on 94. You said 6 cars were involved?
6 cars were involved. So it happened around 4 a.m., according to police scanner audio that we could find. Now, we don't know the cause of the crash, but we know that multiple people were injured. Based on the scanner audio I was listening to, at least one person had to be extricated.
Were there any trucks involved, or were these all cars?
It says vehicles. as of right now.
So we're not sure if it was a semi.
No, it doesn't look like, based on the video they've been watching on the highway, that any semis were involved. They all look like passenger vehicles.
So, and they're not saying if speed was involved or
Not
something
yet.
was on the road or.
Yeah, no, they're still cleaning up that crash site. So make sure to avoid that area on 94 North.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Thank you, Tiff. I know you're on top of it. We appreciate it. It is, as you said, 8:37. Coming up in 2 minutes, we're going to hear from our consumer expert about a term you may not have used before, juice jacking. It's coming up right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
You know, Dad, there are a lot of things that make Marty's Pizza special.
Well, you got our untouched original recipe for our pizza sauce, and we have our own sausage made for us with our own recipe. We make everything fresh. Our own meatballs, our lasagna, our dough every day. We cut our vegetables fresh every day.
It's a labor of love.
This is Dick the Dad.
And James the Son from Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
Find out what keeps our loyal customers coming back for generations.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th. Get up close to thousands of aircraft. Learn about the newest innovation. Get hands-on with experts and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management.
We have a contractual agreement that we give our clients, this fiduciary standard of care. We also say fee-only fiduciary. So a lot of people are kind of twisting it these days and saying, I'm a fiduciary some of the time. I call them part-time fiduciaries. And that's the reason why we say fee-only fiduciary. That means we do not accept commissions.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. Still ahead, we've got Sandy Banks coming in live into the studio. We're going to be talking Tony's. That's in about 10 minutes. How many times have you looked at your phone saying, uh-oh, this needs to be charged? So you look around to see if there's a charger someplace in a public space, and you take advantage of that. Well, before you do, hold on a second. Joining us to tell us why we need to be careful is our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen from DATCAP. And Michelle, there's a term for this.
Yes, absolutely. Juice jacking. This is a risk that consumers can encounter when they are traveling and look to these public kiosks because cyber criminals tamper with them and install a small electronic device called a skimmer. And that then tries to steal information from the consumer's device, or it could install malware, lock the device, and demand payment to unlock it. And so consumers really need to be on guard for this.
How widespread is this practice?
It is not that widespread, thank goodness, but it could happen, and we need consumers to be aware so they can recognize the signs should they encounter it.
All right, well, let's talk about some of those signs. What should you watch for before you plug your phone in?
Look to see if that device looks like it has any kind of tampering with it. That's one thing. But the thing to really do is once you've plugged in, if you get a request to choose charge only, once you've plugged in, that device is asking you to pick between that and sharing data. That could be a sign, and I would likely unplug, but certainly if you really need that charge and have no alternative, choose charge only. You can attach a USB data blocker device to the end of the cable, which allows the device to be charged while stopping any data transfer from occurring. Or you could just use a standard wall plug or portable battery with your own charging cable whenever possible, instead of using that public charging station.
All right. Now, you mentioned this device, a USB data blocker. What exactly is that?
That's just a device that you can purchase. So just be looking for a USB data blocker device, a little tool that you can add to the end of a cable that will then prevent that data from passing through the charging cable.
So as we're traveling this summer, especially if we're going through airports or other public places, what do you suggest people do?
Well, be prepared is the first thing. Try and have your cables with you. Decide if you're going to have that portable battery with you. But do your research up front and know how to convert your device to a charge only instead of shared data to be sure that you aren't releasing any personal information. And then the other thing I do is really limit the amount of personal data that you have on that device so someone can't steal that financial information from you.
And Michelle, if you think you've been scammed, what's that hotline we should call?
Call 800-422-7128 to talk to the Consumer Protection Hotline.
It's 8:43 on WTMJ. I don't know if you've heard this story yet about what happened at the Dan Jansen Family Fest, but WTMJ's community reporter Tori Lowe has the details, and we'll hear about it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Spring into better vision at Shopko Optical. Vince Vitrano here. All starts with a comprehensive eye exam from a skilled optometrist. Takes a look at your eye health and overall well-being. Need glasses, contacts, maybe both? At Shopko Optical, get expert care and the perfect eyewear for your lifestyle, all in one convenient visit. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. I go to the one at Hales Corners. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your exam. Shopko Optical, partners in your eye care.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know dads. The ones who know how to build it all, grill it all, and fix it all while still taking the time to share it all. This Father's Day, give your dad a gift he'll love. Like men's work and sport pocket tees, $12.99. 25% off select men's Carhartt pocket tees. $110 off 192-piece DeWalt Mechanics tool set. And assorted Irwin clamps, 20% off. Find value on the gifts he'll value. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Picture this: a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick night after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
It's 8:45 on WTMJ. A confrontation at the Dan Jansen Family Fest involving a 16-year-old, festival security, and Greenfield police is raising questions about private event dress codes, communication, and how festival rules are enforced. WTMJ's community reporter Tori Lowe has the details.
At the center of the incident is a festival policy about hoodies, requiring hoodies to be worn down at all times. That means the hood portion of the sweatshirt cannot be worn over one's head. The mother, Natasha Brown, says her 16-year-old son was waiting for her and her aunt to get off a festival ride when he was approached by security about his hoodie.
He asked him to remove his hoodie. My son is very antisocial. He didn't say anything or do anything until I got right there, and he said, "Mom, why do I have to take my hoodie off?"
Greenfield Interim Police Chief Eric Lindstrom says the team was assisting festival security enforcing the hoodie rule.
One of the juveniles was spoken to by security at least 3 times, saying you need to take the hood off, but this juvenile refused to do so. When that happened, they decided they were going to have the juvenile removed from the midway area of the festival grounds and asked him to leave. When that did not immediately occur, then they contacted the Greenfield Police Department to have officers respond in order to remove him from those grounds.
The conversation escalated, which you can see on the body cam footage on our website, WTMJ.com.
I just want to know, why can't he have on the hood, and where is this policy at? And they said that it was at the front entrance, and they were going to show it to me.
And Natasha and her son were arrested and given citations. Interim Police Chief Eric Lindstrom says he understands why the mom felt her son was being targeted.
I understand why, if you're the only one being talked to at that moment, but you don't see the officers or security talking to anyone else throughout a 3-day festival, you might feel that way. But just know that we are consistent, we're fair, we follow the guidelines and the rules that are laid out in the festival attendee board list at the entranceways, and all people that are violating those rules will be talked to.
I feel like everybody should know that they should be able to go anywhere and not be targeted just because one bad apple. You know, it's like, it's hard to go out and have fun. These kids barely have anything to do as it is. And just because one bad incident happened doesn't mean that every black kid is a bad kid.
Tori Lowe, WTMJ News.
And as Tori said, you can see that video. Just go to WTMJ.com, and we've got video of the incident. It is 8:48 on WTMJ. Coming up next, we've got our own Sandy Max joining us to talk about the Tonys. They're going to be on TV tonight, and they're going to be on Broadway. And Sandy's got a special event going on. We'll tell you all about it after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Everywhere you turn, it's plus, plus, plus. Retail chains, streamers, even our phones come with plus. And to think it all started with Hasselus mattress, because nobody has more plus than us. Right now at Hasselus, get a Queen Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove A mattress. Others sell it for $1,459, but Hasselus has it for just $794. Plus, through Monday, you'll also get a free adjustable base. Plus, a huge selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and other big name brands. Plus, free financing. Plus, free next day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, employee free showrooms. Get all this plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hasselus Mattress. Woo! All these pluses have me feeling nonplussed. Save big on Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, and more every day from 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this, and Summit Credit Union's got you.
Milwaukee Weight Loss knows the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no drugs or surgery, and they will show you how to keep it off for good. Get your confidence and your health back. Right now, $200 off on their summer special for a limited time only. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to book your free consultation. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
The mountains are calling, and so are the highlights.
Hit in the air. This is deep. Up into the night. Back goes Doyle. Track. Wall. See you later, Bryce Terrain.
The climb continues as the Brewers take on the Rockies at Coors Field.
Wow, Yelich demolishes one up into the night sky. All the way back to the wall.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 1:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
And Sandy Max is getting ready for the red carpet for the Tony Stein. You are in glitter this morning.
I am.
Look at you. You look like you're stepping onto the red
I'm in
carpet.
my sequin jumpsuit. I am going to wear this tonight at Skylight Music Theater, and I thought, what the heck? Maybe I'd surprise you.
Oh my gosh, you
as
look
well.
Well, first of all, you look fabulous.
Well, thank you very much. I feel fabulous. Anytime you're head to toe in sequins, and it's exciting. As much as the Tony Awards, some people are like, why do I care? This is going to be, I think, a very entertaining ceremony. So there's a watch party tonight at Skylight Music Theater. Come out and join us. You can dress up and walk the red carpet and watch the Tony Awards on a huge screen hanging over the stage. And at Skylight Music Theater, in between the commercials, instead of sitting at home and watching the commercials, if you come to the watch party, a dozen different spectacular singers from our Wisconsin theater are here, and they will be singing selections in between the commercials.
Broadway selections?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So it'll be a lot of fun, and it's not too fancy pants. You're encouraged to dress glamorously, but $20, come in, enjoy the Skylight Music Theater and fellow theater fans. But truly, when you watch tonight, Pink is hosting. She has promised that she won't be the only one doing stunts.
Yeah, she's never been on Broadway, though.
She's
has
not
she?
been on Broadway. Grammy Awards, but it's funny. Her daughter is the aspiring musical theater person. And she actually asked her daughter first, hey, is it cool if I do this? And she's like, yes, go, go, go. But the opening number is expected to have 170 people on stage at Radio City Music Hall. So, I mean, this is going to be truly
what
a spectacle.
Show are they?
That's just it. They want you to tune in and watch.
So we don't know. Okay.
But there will be anniversary celebrations of Chicago with a lot of different cast members, including
lots of jazz
Queen
hands.
Latifah. Exactly. A lot of fussy moves. There's also an anniversary celebration of Book of Mormon.
Okay.
A chorus line. And during the In Memoriam, Leslie Odom Jr., who I just adore from Hamilton and so many other shows, is going to be singing a song from Rent during the In Memoriam. So even if you're like, I haven't seen all the shows that are nominated this year, there's a lot to enjoy from musical theater and just live theater performances tonight at the Tonys.
There is one show on Broadway that is fascinating to me.
Which one?
Titanic.
Yes.
Titanic.
Celine Dion.
That one, I mean, I've seen which took a long way to get to Broadway. If you've seen it, she started like in the grocery store basement doing this show that she wrote. And now it's on Broadway. And now she's up for a couple of Grammys or a couple of Tonys
Tony
for
Awards,
this.
yes. And actually, Michael Unger, who's the artistic director of Skylight Music Theater, has worked with her for years and was in New York on Tony nomination day with her.
Oh, wow.
Over the moon. So, yes, so root for Titanic. Other Wisconsin connections to root for. Andre DeShields. He won a Tony for his role in Hadestown, which is a musical that I just love. But an older African-American man, if you see him, you know who he is. He's in the musical Cats the Jellicle Ball. And he has another nomination. And he's just got such a great reputation for a decent, kind, but immensely talented man. And he went to UW-Madison in the 60s when, unfortunately, segregation and prejudice were huge hurdles. But there are great stories of he was broke actor in school. 3 of his buddies chipped in for the $10 bus ticket to go to Chicago to audition for Hair. And he wrote them IOUs saying, hey, when I make it big, we are jet setting. We are living it up. Sure enough, he got cast in Hair, and that has launched the rest of his career. And he has owned up to that IOU every time those 3 friends visit him.
But this isn't like the Cats I remember when I saw it originally.
But this is all
They've
the
redone
music.
it.
Yes, it is zhuzhed up for the 21st century.
I think is it. Talk about glitter and sparkles.
Yes, Disco Ball is in the logo. It is nominated for Best Revival of a Musical along with Ragtime and Richard O'Brien's The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Which they also kind of redid.
Yeah, and Rachel Dratch is nominated for Rocky Horror, which I think is just super fun. But Ragtime, Mark Clements, artistic director of the Milwaukee Rep, he was a guest on What's on Tap, and boy, that is a sentimental favorite for him. He loves their production that they staged several years ago at the Rep, but he thinks it's pretty much the perfect musical. So he is really rooting for Ragtime. And I got the chance to talk with Anthony Crivello, Tony Award winner from right here in Milwaukee. He won for Kiss of a Spider Woman ages ago, but in the 90s. But it's still really into this world. And he thinks The Lost Boys could win for Best New Musical.
The Lost Boys is about what again?
It's the adaptation of the 80s vampire movie.
That's what I thought.
Isn't that wild?
Yes,
Which had
that
a great
is.
movie soundtrack. So there's a lot to love about that, but it is kind of neck and neck with Schmigadoon in that race for
and
for
explain
things.
what Schmigadoon is.
Schmigadoon is based on the show, and Brigadoon is the name of a very famous musical. So, are you a fan of Schmigadoon?
Well, I was in Brigadoon in high school.
Were
so
you?
I was.
What role
yes,
did
I
you
was.
play?
I played the best friend, Meg.
And can you still remember some of the some of the lines and the lyrics?
Oh, enough that I wouldn't do them on the air.
Come on, break into song.
Hey, listen, getting that Scottish burr was the toughest part of being in that show. But Schmigadoon is kind of like a play on the old Brigadoon movie, if you've seen that with Gene Kelly.
Yeah.
But it's
theater for theater people. You know, it's
it's
a lot
different.
to love about it. So and it's something to get turned on to, and you can always catch up on the TV series. But a couple of other Wisconsin connections to root for tonight. Carrie Coon is an actress who if you don't recognize her name immediately, if you watch the last season of White Lotus, she was in that.
Oh,
She's in the Gilded Age and is spectacular. She is just a very renowned, interesting actress to watch on stage. She is nominated for a play called Bug that her husband, Tracy Letts, wrote. And it's a very intense show about paranoia and conspiracy theories, but it's really exciting to see her get another Tony nomination. She was nominated for, it wasn't Death of a Salesman. Oh, wait, I have it written down right here. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Her big breakthrough when she finished her UW-Madison Masters in Theater and did a lot of acting there at the Madison Rep. She wound up going to Chicago at the Steppenwolf, and when Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf went to Broadway, that's where she got her first Tony nomination as Honey. And then one more person to root for, Milwaukee man Josh Schmidt. He is a very renowned sound designer in our entire region, has worked all around Wisconsin. He is nominated for the sound design of the play Bug. He will be on the red carpet, and he will be with Janet Schiff, a cellist here with 1913. So look for them on the red carpet together.
And speaking of the red carpet, you are going to be on the red carpet tonight at Skylight.
At Skylight Music
Tell
Theater.
us again what we need to do if we want to come and join you.
Come on over. It's $20 to come and watch with the rest of us. 5:30 is the VIP portion. And Ryan J. Reviews and I will be doing a live stream podcast from the parlor there. And then 6 o'clock, the red carpet, come strut your stuff. And at 7 o'clock, we will all watch together the Tony Awards over the big stage on a huge screen. And in every single commercial break, you'll get to hear from a spectacular singer on stage, plus silent auction and all the other fun things. And of course, a predictions contest so you can win prizes with your Tony's ballot.
And you can come and see Sandy Max on the red carpet in her glitter outfit.
In sequins.
I love it. Sandy Max, always great to have you here.
See you at Skylight tonight.
It's 9 o'clock. After the news, we'll be back with New at 9. What the heck? Is tarps off? We'll tell you all about it after this.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 8 to 16 ounce selected varieties. Old Dutch Restaurant tortilla, crunch, ripple, or traditional potato chips, 2 for $5.50. Fresh 85% lean ground chuck, $4.99 a pound. Southern peaches, $2.49 a pound. 7 to 8 ounce selected varieties. Essential everyday shredded or chunk cheese, $1.79.
It's a long fly ball.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Calidora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnsresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
The mountains are calling, and so are the highlights.
Hit in the air. This is deep. Up into the night. Back goes Doyle. Track. Wall. See you later, Bryce Terrett.
The climb continues as the Brewers take on the Rockies at Coors Field.
Demolishes one up into the night sky. All the way back to the wall.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 1:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Coming up at 9:03, it's 66 degrees. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain late, a high of 80 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Tiff Pua. Multiple people are injured after a 6-car crash along I-94 in Racine. Sheriff's deputies responded just after 4 a.m. this morning near State Highway 11 on the northbound side of I-94.
Yeah, we're probably going to need a shutdown at KR. We got multiple vehicles involved. Looks like we just have one trapped right now. All the other ones are out of the vehicle.
Scanner audio from broadcast by I-94 North has just been reopened. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. The trial date is set for the death of a Two Rivers toddler. Katrina Bauer, the mother of 3-year-old Elijah Vu, and her boyfriend Jesse Vang are scheduled for trial in July 2027. The toddler was reported missing in February of 2024. His skeletal remains were found by a deer hunter in northeast Wisconsin 7 months later. Bauer is charged with felony child neglect resulting in death. Vang faces the same charge along with felony child abuse and hiding a corpse. Both have pled not guilty. Drivers along Highway 100 near 894 will see lane restrictions in both directions starting next week.
Wisconsin DOT's Eric Hansen says southbound Highway 100 is already down to one lane between Cold Spring Road and Edgerton Avenue.
This is to allow for asphalt and bridge repair work, and that's scheduled to remain in place through Saturday, June 13th.
Once that work wraps up, Hansen says northbound Highway 100 is next.
So Highway 100 northbound is scheduled to be reduced from 3 lanes down to 1 lane.
That northbound restriction runs between Edgerton and Layton, starting at 10 p.m. Monday, June 8th, lasting through Saturday, June 13th. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
Toledo, Ohio, shaken by a mass shooting at an outdoor festival packed with families. 2 people are in critical condition. ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports that the manhunt for suspects continues this morning.
It sounds as if there's going to be multiple people shot.
Toledo police say what appeared to be a gunfight between at least 2 shooters left around a dozen injured in the crossfire Saturday evening.
We've got 2 patients. Anyone have any more?
Hundreds running for safety at the 53rd annual Old West End Festival in the city's historic district.
Day 2 of the festival has been canceled. More missile fire lights up the skies in the Middle East overnight as tensions continue to rise. News Nation's Robert Sherman is in Doha, Qatar with the latest.
Central Command announcing that a pair of Iranian one-way attack drones appear to be threatening maritime commerce and travel going through that key water corridor, and as a result, they were shot down. This is not the first time that we've been reporting on this week, however. We've seen Bahrain and Kuwait come under fire. We've seen the airport in Kuwait getting struck. You've seen strikes that were carried out by American forces on radar sites and launch positions along the Strait of Hormuz, framed as being self-defense.
U.S. forces say their latest strikes were conducted to protect commerce and U.S. service members operating in the region. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:06.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big-name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Save big money on everything for your next project at Menards. Know you're getting the job done right with a level from Johnson Level. They offer a variety of levels, laser levels, and layout tools for incredible accuracy. Get a 48-inch I-beam level on sale now through June 14th. Save big on Johnson Level products at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers take the series with a 7-1 win over the Rockies in Colorado. Jacob Misiorowski threw a record-setting 100.3-mile-per-hour pitch in the third inning, the fastest pitch by a Major League starter since tracking began in 2008. Manager Pat Murphy says it's not just about speed for the Miz.
Miz has got great extension and great velocity, so that doesn't surprise me. But we got to get off that, the harder the better and all that. He's got to throw the ball in the zone and throw his other pitches in the zone because, as I say often, you don't get to hear it, but I say it often, good hitters can time up anything.
The Brewers go for the sweep today in Colorado. Our coverage starts at 1:35 right here on WTMJ. And another day of banana ball at American Family Field after the Loco Beach Coconuts beat the Party Animals 4-2 to a sold-out crowd. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, the good news is that I-94 North has been reopened at County KR following the 6-car crash earlier this morning. Otherwise, we just have a few disabled vehicles on the system, but they're all out of traffic, and so we've got smooth sailing on the road. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain late, a high of 80 degrees. Tonight, a chance of rain continues with a low of 59. For your Monday, mostly cloudy with rain likely, a high of 83. Tuesday, a slight chance of rain early, becoming sunny, warm, and humid with a high of 85. For Wednesday, very humid and warm with a chance of rain late, a high of 92 degrees. Thursday, those 90s continues, but storms are likely, a high of 91. Friday, that chance of rain back again with a high of 85. Right now in Madison, it's 71. In Waukesha, it's 71. In Green Bay, it's 67. And in Milwaukee, partly sunny and 66 degrees. I'm Tiff Bua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:10.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
And joining us this morning is ESPN Milwaukee's Mr. Irrelevant himself, Alex Strofe. Alex, hey, how are you this morning?
I'm lovely, Libby. Good morning to you.
Before we get to the topic, I really want to talk to you about how about Miz yesterday with that 103-mile-per-hour ball?
Yeah, he's an absurd pitcher. We have never seen anything like it, let alone in Major League Baseball, especially in Milwaukee. So I hope Brewers fans like you, like me, are enjoying what we're witnessing because it is truly special, and he's on a Cy Young path here in 2026 on top of the ridiculous speed he throws on a nightly basis.
What an amazing young man. All right, speaking of amazing young men,
oh boy,
I've gone now to a couple of games at AmFam Field.
Yeah.
And, it's really something to see where you can look up towards, those 400 sections, either in right field or left field, and they're empty. They're completely empty. Then all of a sudden around, maybe the 4th, 5th inning, you see it's almost like some sort of a mission. You just see one young guy after another, after another, after another, after another, and it just sort of fills up those bleachers out of nowhere. And then as quickly as they come, they disappear later on in the game. But let's talk about exactly what they're up there doing. It is a phenomena called tarps off. Where did this all get started, Strove?
Libby, listening to you explain tarps off may have just made my day at just past 9 a.m. That was an outstanding explanation of the cultural phenomenon that we are witnessing across Major League Baseball. Yes, tarps off is what you're talking about. And for the record, I'd like to state my tarp is currently on.
Oh, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, we'll see how rowdy this segment gets. Maybe that changes about halfway through, like it has with the baseball games. But this started back in the fall at college football stadiums. I think it started at Oklahoma State, who wasn't very good this year, in November, and it was similarly to what you're seeing at AmFam Field. There was one guy, and then it was 10 guys, and then it was 100 guys, and then it was multiple 100 guys, and it took off at colleges that weren't very good and football games that weren't heavily attended, but it blew up. The national champion Indiana Hoosiers had guys doing it at their games, and then it started with a baseball team. Stephen F. Austin was attending a game in St. Louis about a month ago, and their baseball team at the St. Louis Cardinals game did this, and it led to an 11-inning win for the Cardinals. So their manager bought out the entire section and invited the Stephen F. Austin team back the following day, and it kind of just blew up all over the country, including right here in Milwaukee. So I still haven't taken part, though I kind of want to, I think. But
I bet you do, Strofe. I bet you do. I'm surprised you haven't been up there yet. But how do they know when to go? This is what I don't understand, because twice now I've watched it, and it's completely empty, and then all of a sudden you see one guy, two guys, three guys, 10 guys. How do they know this is the time to go and get together in the 400 section?
I think somebody just has to, have the cojones to be the trendsetter. Ultimately, is what we're waiting on, right? You're waiting on somebody to open the floodgates. So I know right when this started in Milwaukee, the in-stadium ushers weren't prepared for what was happening. I know they blocked off entrances the first couple of games, and then once they realized the phenomenon that they had on their hands, they started opening up and dedicating sections for it. So I guess I don't know how/when you know when to start, because the first inning feels too early, right? You're there to watch baseball or eat a hot dog or drink a Leinenkugel's beer in the first, second, third inning. But I imagine come middle of the game, if we're talking about like a 3-0 game or something.
It's before the sausages run. They're up there before the sausages.
Okay, and that's what, at the end of the sixth inning when the sausages run?
I've noticed them about the fourth, fifth inning. That's about when they start to go up there. Maybe in the fifth inning or so.
I'd love to talk to somebody that's been the trendsetter, right? The first person up there by them. That's got to be a lonely mission until people start joining you, right? Because in your head, you got to be thinking, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to embarrass myself in a stadium full of people. Hopefully somebody joins me.
But both times when I've seen it, and again, this isn't on TV, because when they switch the camera, you just see all these guys up there with their shirts off that they're waving around like rally towels. But they disappear. I mean, they disappear even quicker than they show up. It's unbelievable. You look up and all of a sudden they're gone. Where did they all go?
I don't know. Probably back to their designated seats, but maybe they ran out of beer. They ran out of liquid courage. Maybe.
I mean, I just don't understand this. They all seem to know. It's like one mind. You almost feel like there's an alien force out there with a light, and it's drawing, guys between the ages of about 16 and 22, and they just all sort of follow the light and go up to the 400 section. And then when it's time to leave, they all just disappear into thin air.
I think I need to do some boots on the ground journalism for you, Livy. I need to figure out what's going on here.
Well, I almost wanted to go up and talk to these guys.
Yeah, I'm going to try to next time there's a homestand, because I need to get to the bottom of this. Now, to your point, though, I think I'm too old for this. It seems like it's like high schoolers, maybe college kids. Yeah. And as much as I'd like to think I'm still 22, I'm certainly not. So I might just stand outside and go, how do you know? How do you know when to start? How do you know when to leave? How do you know it's working? It's truly something special that has taken over sports. And look, I on a serious note, like I've always viewed sports as the great unifier. It seems like Tarps Off might be the great unifier here in the month of June. I don't know. It's been quite something the last few weeks.
All right, so you now have been assigned. I need you to go up there and talk to these guys, find out who's the first guy up there, and how do they know it's time, and then how do they know when to leave, and where do they all go? I'm fascinated with this. So, Strofe, you have to be on top of this. You've got to be my eyes and ears on the ground.
You got it. Wisconsin Weekend Morning News' investigative reporter, Alex Strofe. I got you, Libby.
You will be checking back with me throughout the season on Tarps Off. Alex Strofe, Mr. Irrelevant himself, thank you so much for being here this morning. I feel like I know a little bit more now.
I don't know that I do, but I certainly got my laugh fixed for the morning. Thanks, Libby.
9:18 on WTMJ.
You know, James, we'll be running this place together for a while, and one day, hopefully, you and your kids will be doing the same.
That's the plan, Dad, and we're making changes so we stay ahead of the game.
Like the new Marty's Pizza Delafield.com?
We've made it extremely easy for both our young and older customers to make fast online orders.
It is really convenient, but if you like to call your orders in, a friendly Marty's Pizza employee will be there to answer with a smile.
Remember Marty's Pizza, right off of I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
And at Marty'sPizzaDelafield.com.
Dad, it's been almost 7 decades, and I think we just keep getting better.
And we've been in Delafield since 1982. We've been very fortunate.
At Marty's Pizza, we do our best to keep prices at a value.
And we stay true to our roots with the tastiest thin pepperoni we can find. 100% of real mozzarella cheese, our very own exclusive sausage, and an almost 70-year-old sauce recipe, both which Marty himself taught us how to make.
Dad, we got to keep on trucking.
We will, son. We will.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Appliance Gallery, right on Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee. Their gorgeous showroom is the most up-to-date in our state, featuring luxury brands like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. They'll work right with your contractor designer and make the process seamless. They even offer brands where you can choose from custom colors. As a small family-owned company with one location, they deliver impeccable service with a personal touch. Visit ApplianceGalleryWY.com or stop in today.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
That's right, Matt. It's a great time to be downtown. I'm Jim Popp, President and CEO of Johnson Financial Group. Our associates love being downtown. They love the energy, the activities, and the business opportunities that you'll only find here in downtown Milwaukee.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
It's going to be partly cloudy today. We do have a chance of some rain tonight. I love that. 80 is going to be our high if you're inland, 74 close to the lake. Then tonight, like I said, some rain down to 59. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We do have rain likely tomorrow with a high of 83, 78 near the lake. Then Tuesday, that rain might be continuing into the early morning. Then it gets sunny, warm, humid. We're going to be up to about the mid-80s. By Wednesday, even warmer, more humid with a chance of late showers and a high of 92. Looks like more the same on Thursday with some storms likely, and 91 and very warm and humid. 67 degrees at 9:21 on WTMJ. Still ahead, we're going to be talking with one of the people who sighted a bear in her backyard. It's all coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
That bathroom of yours, its look is more than worn on its welcome. And a remodeling job? Right now, that's just a little too steep for your checkbook. Well, Lester's Glass Service can give your bathroom a fresh new look, an affordable upgrade that can really produce some pretty desirable results. You could replace that drab shower curtain and install a gorgeous new glass shower door. Why don't you come by our showroom in Hales Corners? And when you get here, we can share with you the myriad of options you have available. Decorative glass, stained glass, beveled mirrors, improvements you may not have realized you could do. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. You know, my dad Les says, when you're good, you last. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout Southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The mountains are calling, and so are the highlights.
Hit in the air. This is deep. Up into the night. Back goes Doyle. Track. Wall. See you later, Bryce Terrain.
The climb continues as the Brewers take on the Rockies at Coors Field.
Wow, Yelich demolishes one up into the night sky. All the way back to the wall.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 1:35. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ. The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to Sunday Sip on 620 WTMJ. Today we're talking about something every Wisconsinite should be paying attention to. What voters are actually saying about education and the state budget. Two major polls just dropped. One from City Forward Collective, one from Marquette Law School. They're telling the exact same story. We're joined today by Colestin Morgan, Jr., Executive Director of City Forward Collective. You hear him on Point Taken every couple weeks. Going to walk us through the numbers, what they mean for the gubernatorial race, which is coming up, the August primary. That's the first step. And the future of Milwaukee's kids. Welcome to Sunday Sip.
Always good to be on with you, Steve.
All right, so two independent polls, same headline number. What's the takeaway from this thing?
We've got an electorate that's got some real concerns about how our students are doing. 93% are saying that they're worried that students aren't graduating ready for careers. 92% are worried about academic outcomes, and 91% about finances for our schools. These electors are saying we need some accountability, and we've got to address both our state's academic malaise and the real crisis and outcomes we see in Milwaukee.
Did the polling results surprise you?
I can't say that it surprised me, perhaps only that this is really going to be an issue that matters in this election, right? You saw it in the Marquette Law poll and then the conversation we've been having about the surplus. People want to see our kids educated. We're willing to make investments, but they want to see a return on that investment.
All right, so one of the pieces of all of this is the undecided Democrats story, the most underreported filing of the 2026 cycle. Who are these people and why are they undecided?
You know, the conversation that's happening in the Democratic Party primary really seems somewhat far away from where voters are on this issue. When you look at Democrats who have decided on a candidate versus Democrats who haven't yet figured out who they're supporting in the primary, there's a 34 percentage point swing in their beliefs on school choice. There are a lot of undecided school choice favorable Democrats out there to be gotten.
Here's what's not ambiguous. Voters are telling pollsters, City Forward Collective, Marquette Law School poll, they want this done. Tax relief, school funding. But the candidates are going the opposite way.
Yeah, and they want choices for students. The reality is, we've got people who support strong public schools, but school choice is a 57% support issue. Public charter schools are over 60%. They want to see investments in our traditional school district. They want to see investments in our students with special education needs. They also want to see us continue to protect and advance what's been a 30 and 40-year nation-leading process of ensuring that our families have robust school choices.
Colestin Morgan from the City Forward Collective Group joining us on 620 WTMJ. All right, you and I are action guys. Not just talking, but action. What's next? What can listeners do to move this forward?
Look, we are inside the sprint. These elections are on August 11th. Early voting starts in the last week of July. Whatever you're going to do over the next month and a half, make sure you take the time to actually listen to these candidates from the governor's race on down. State legislature is up for grabs and matters immensely here as well. And make sure that you're choosing candidates that align with your position.
When you look at the data, and you guys are data-driven, you look at what people are saying as well. So you produce the data, you do the surveys, you listen to what the outside groups are saying. When you ask the question to the public about education, beyond just they want something done, what are the specific things they're saying to you?
Accountability is the 80% support issue in this electorate. They want to see results. They want to see elected officials. They want to see those who are leading in our school systems of every sector and every type hold themselves accountable for ensuring that our students are learning.
I ran into somebody at an event I was emceeing last week, and they asked me about City Forward Collective. For folks who don't know, because this is a Sunday Sip, different audience, right, than my weekly show on Point Taken. What do you do? What's your mission?
City Forward Collective exists to ensure that every one of Milwaukee's students gets access to a high-quality education at a school of their choice. And we know that in order for Milwaukee students to get the education they deserve, we have to work not just here in the city, but across the state.
As I was talking to you on your last appearance, we often talk about sort of the question about public schools versus charter, all the various options. We do have a lot of options in the state, which is a great thing. But often the question is, are there situations, are there real things, funding aside, that we should be doing every day in schools, in our educational environment that we're not doing?
Look, let me start with the point you made. We have a lot of great options in this state. We've got work to do to ensure that every kid is in the right fit school for them. But I think part of it is, our political conversation is stuck in what we used to call the sector wars. And the reality is we've got parents that are looking for the right place for their kids to be in school. We need to make that easier. We need to make sure that there are no bad choices out there. That's the accountability piece of it. And we need to make sure that the good choices have the resources they need to ensure every kid thrives.
So the recent news on the non-passage of the tax relief bill is that at least one Republican leader says, let's bring it back. Do you think, Colestin Morgan, that's likely?
I don't know if it's likely. I know that it would be the right thing to do. All of our kids could deserve those resources. This is one way you'll find everyone in the education space is on the same page. Those dollars could help students in classrooms this year and next year. Let's get it done.
If folks want to find out more about City Forward Collective, how can they do that?
You can find us on our website, www.cityforwardcollective.org. Or you can find us on socials at CFC_MKE.
And again, what's the number one thing people should be doing on this issue, the call to action?
Make a plan to vote on or before August 11th and make sure that your choice is informed.
Colestin Morgan Jr., City Forward Collective, always love hanging out with you. Thanks for sharing your wisdom on the Sunday Sip.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Sunday Sip, 620, WTMJ.
929 and 67 degrees at WTMJ.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
It's 9:31, and we have Tiff Pua in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. And what is this about? A new thing they're doing with 911 technology?
Yeah, Libby, we have major enhancements coming to the 911 Dispatch Center in Milwaukee. Director of Department of Emergency Communications, Tony Bueno, says coming in October, residents will be able to text 911. He tells WTMJ,
there's a whole revisioning of what we're doing with public safety communications.
We're going to introduce a new citywide non-emergency number that offers an opportunity to be to be transferred to dispatch. We're going to introduce new technology that will get us better location information for the callers.
Bueno says in addition to texting, the center will also roll out real-time transcription software and translation capabilities. Milwaukee police are seeing an uptick in crime during the summer months. Milwaukee Police Department Lieutenant Efren Cornejo says despite the warm weather, crime data shows a decrease in non-fatal shootings and homicides. He tells WTMJ,
"We're optimistic about that. We do have resources out there really help combat, working with our community, working with other agencies to combat several different issues that we do have when we see them. So we just need help from the community still. We need them to tell us what's going on so we know."
Non-fatal shootings are down 27% compared to this time last year. And someone in the U.S. has a stroke every 40 seconds. Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, says there's several major warning signs of a stroke. He tells WTMJ,
"Sudden loss of balance or trouble with coordination, walking, even dizziness. So vision changes, blurry or double vision, loss of sight in one or both eyes. So if one side of your face is drooping or feels numb, or if when somebody smiles, that smile is uneven, that's a telltale sign."
Dr. Weston says calling 911 quickly is a crucial step in stroke prevention. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. The good news is we only have a few disabled vehicles on the system, but they're all out of the way of traffic, so nothing is impeding your ride. We've got smooth sailing and safe roads, it looks like, so far this morning. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain late, a high of 80 degrees. That rain continues tonight with a low of 59. Monday, mostly cloudy with rain likely, a high of 83. Tuesday, a slight chance of rain, then becoming sunny, warm, and humid, a high of 85 degrees. Wednesday, much warmer, very humid, and a slight chance of rain again, high of 92 degrees. The 90s remain into Thursday, but storms are likely, a high of 91. And rain comes back on Friday with a high of 85. Right now in Eagle, it's 73. In Forest Junction, it's 70. And in Milwaukee, it's partly sunny and 66 degrees. I'm Tiff Bua. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 9:34.
Hey, Tiff, have you heard the term hot girls summer?
I have. Not that I've ever participated in it.
Neither have I.
Okay.
But are you aware that hot girls are going to be giving back?
Ooh.
We'll tell you all about it after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
How do we keep our prices so low? That's easy. We've removed the middlemen. Yep, most landscape suppliers have a couple of them in there, and that's okay. But each one of those men in the middle means a higher cost for your mulch, decorative stone, flagstone, and boulders. Feel free to check around. For the quality of our products, you won't find better prices. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You know, most mulch is reclaimed from landfills, but Erickson's mulch is ground from whole trees. Yep, we process the mulch ourselves to keep the prices nice and low, and use only premium colorant so the beautiful look of new mulch lasts. At Erickson's, we never skimp, and that's why first-time shoppers become repeat customers. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
It's 9:36. Welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. You've probably heard the term hot girl summer. Well, what about it's time for hot girls to give back? Next Sunday, there is a community fundraiser taking place to benefit those individuals who are at the Benedict Center. And joining us to talk about it is Katie Watson. She is with Lilac Moon Hair Company, and this is your business, and you're the one sponsoring this fundraiser, Katie. First of all, tell us about your commitment to the Benedict Center. Why is this important to you?
My family has faced supporting somebody through an incarceration, and we have seen firsthand how there's just so much injustice within the criminal justice system. There is a lot of things that happen while somebody is incarcerated that doesn't necessarily help the person rehabilitate. So organizations like the Benedict Center is so important to our community because they are actually doing the work that are helping people who have been incarcerated before get better, rehabilitate, learn their lessons. So the Benedict Center is providing free services for women, free mental health counseling. They give them free substance abuse counseling. They give them resources for housing and jobs. They give them warm meals and clothes. And then they have workshops for different legal issues. They have them for morale. And then they also help women reconnect with their families after incarceration. And this is the kind of work that is really going to help reduce the crime rates in our city and also make sure people get the second chances that they need to rebuild their life after incarceration.
Well, I think this is interesting, Katie, because I looked into your background a little bit, and you call yourself an intuitive hairstylist. And you combine your work with certifications that you have in both astrology and in Reiki. Is your interest in metaphysics connected to your interest in helping these women whose lives have gone awry?
Yes, I am actually in the works with starting to host workshops for the women at the Benedict Center, teaching them these tools within, metaphysicals, within somatic healing, different tools that they can use to help process their trauma, get back to themselves, help feel like themselves again. And I am just very passionate about giving women in general the tools that they need to be the best version of themselves. So it fills my cup up. It makes me very happy.
Can you share an instance of where this has really helped a woman in that position?
Yeah, I offer Reiki at a local yoga studio. I just had a client actually last week who her mom just died, and she just felt very frazzled and felt like there's a million different directions she could go with her life and the way to process this death and this trauma, and just really being able to hold space for somebody who is in the middle of just absolute chaos and their brain is awry, and help them just drop back into their body, really ground, just know that they can only control themselves. They can't control the rest of the world, what other people do, what other people think. And after a Reiki session, I can just see the transformation in my clients' faces and their auras and their bodies, that they just feel so much more grounded and connected back to themselves.
Explain how Reiki works.
Reiki is an energetic healing modality that started back in the early 1900s. It really is a very gentle practice where essentially you were laying on a massage table or on a bed or on the floor, and the practitioner is a channel for this energy. And we either use gentle touch or we just kind of hover our hands above your body and we try to align your chakras and just bring pure love and light energy back into the body. And it's really hard to explain if you've never gotten it done. It might be like, what is this woman doing? Is it just magic? And it kind of is in a way, but when you have the intention of healing and grounding somebody and just to really help them come back to themselves, I've never finished a Reiki session and somebody's like, I feel like you did nothing. Like, everybody can always feel the energy and the shift within themselves.
So you definitely feel this can help women who have been incarcerated?
Oh, yes, 100%. I feel like a lot of people who especially have been raised in stronger inner cities and backgrounds and cultures, that a lot of people have been instilled with some kind of religious trauma or fear-based beliefs, and I feel like Reiki can be a tool for women to not only use on themselves, but use on others that can really help clear their mind and connect with their higher self and their higher power.
We're talking with Katie Watson. She is with the Lilac Moon Hair Company, and let's talk about the fundraiser next week. You're bringing in a lot of hot women to help other hot women at the Benedict Center. What's going on next Sunday?
So we are going to be at Phoenix 360 Events in West Dallas, located on Highway 100 in Greenfield. And we have 12 vendors. We have 2 food trucks that are coming in. We have a 360 photo booth, a custom bar menu. We have 20 giveaway packages, all that have been donated by women-owned businesses, local businesses. We've also had some globally recognized brands donate to the event as well. And we are just trying to raise $5,000 for the Benedict Center. It's a big goal, but we are so passionate about it, and we have gotten some amazing opportunities, so we are very hopeful that we'll be able to reach that goal. So you can just come in. It's an open house vibe. You can come anytime between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m., get a flash tattoo, get some permanent jewelry, get a massage, get some food, hang out, feel the vibes, enter some giveaways, and just make a difference in our community.
And again, the Benedict Center does tremendous work in the community.
Yeah.
Katie Watson from Lilac Moon.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's 9:42 on WTMJ. Coming up next, if you heard my conversation last week with Michael Bell, whose son was killed all the way back in 2004 by a Kenosha police officer, and he is still searching for what really happened that night after all these years. Well, this week's conversation is with the police officer who pulled that trigger, and we're going to have a preview of it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty yourself at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management.
We have a contractual agreement that we give our clients, this fiduciary standard of care. We also say fee-only fiduciary. So a lot of people are kind of twisting it these days and saying, I'm a fiduciary some of the time. I call them part-time fiduciaries. And that's the reason why we say fee-only fiduciary. That means we do not accept commissions.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click Get Started at AnnexWealth.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
It's 9:45. Well, last week on WTMJ Conversations, I talked with Michael Bell. And if you're not familiar with the story, back in November of 2004, his son was shot and killed by a Kenosha police officer after a routine traffic stop. Well, on today's show this morning, I'm talking with Brian Gonzalez. He is the former police officer who pulled that trigger that resulted in young Bell's death. And I asked him his perspective of what happened on that fateful night. You wrote about a critical incident in a book. We mentioned it, A Fateful 2 Minutes. And that described an incident where you shot and killed somebody. That suspect was being taken into custody. Why did you write that book?
You know, it started out as not intending to write a book. It was more cathartic to write down, to kind of get on paper all that I was feeling about the situation, I guess you could say. And all that, yeah, it was just cathartic, just to kind of get it out, right? Because when you go through a situation like that, it's traumatic enough that it leaves an imprint on your mind.
How did the incident change your life?
It really hits you when you're in a situation such as this, and the dichotomy of taking a person's life at the same time being a Christian person. I remember at the time specifically, and I think I wrote about it in my book, I spoke with my youth pastor, who had been my youth pastor back when I was 14 years old. And I said, do you know what? I understand now how David felt, young David.
You're talking David and Goliath.
David and Goliath, correct. Because to know that taking a man's life at the same time being a servant of God, and then knowing that that situation is okay. That's the only way I can describe it.
Did it haunt you at all?
Haunt me in what way?
Emotionally, I would think that it, after being in a situation where somebody lost their life and you pulled the trigger.
Yeah,
I would think it's a nightmare situation.
Yeah, it's a dichotomy to say the least to know, but it didn't haunt me. But you picture it, you can see it, you know that it happened to you. But under that stressful situation, and being that you're in a fight and flight situation, once you come out of that, you're like, oh man. But the strange part about it is you had to do that and take somebody's life in order to come out of it.
I also asked former Kenosha police officer Brian Gonzalez about a conversation he had with the father of the man he shot and killed more than 20 years ago. Have you ever tried to reach out to any of them, to anybody in that family?
At one point, I had gone to the father of the person to let them know that I had forgiven them for what they were doing and in their reactions to what had happened. Because as a person who was grieving, I imagine you go through a series of situations in your mind. And I wanted to just say, hey, I forgive you for the things that you've been saying, the type of things, how you've been putting it. And just understand that what happened that night, I don't go back on it. I can't take it back. How that situation ended was how it was going to end. But I forgive you for the grieving process you're going through. So, yes.
Brian Gonzalez is now a volunteer chaplain with Billy Graham's Rapid Response Team. And I asked him what God might say when he meets his maker regarding that incident. Someday we're all going to see the Lord.
Yep.
As a chaplain,
yes,
you're looking forward to that day.
Absolutely.
What do you think that would be like? Because obviously this is a huge part of your life, of that incident of that night.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect when you meet your maker?
Well done, thy good and faithful servant. That's what I'm going to hear. Absolutely. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Well done, thy good and faithful servant.
If you have not yet listened to the interview with Michael Bell about his quest for answers regarding his son's death while in Kenosha police custody, go to WTMJ.com and you can hear it. Then I want you to listen at 11 o'clock this morning when I talk with the police officer who shot and killed that young man. You can decide for yourself if justice was served or if more investigation is warranted. It's all this morning at 11 o'clock on WTMJ Conversations. It's 9:50.
Save big on auto accessories at Menards. We have what you need to keep your vehicle looking like new. Give your car the care it needs with spray wax from Turtle Wax. Just wash your car, rinse, spray it on, and dry for the quickest way to a high-gloss shine. Save big on all Turtle Wax products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Car Edge. The stress of car buying is finally a thing of the past. Car Edge negotiates with local dealerships for you, keeping your personal info private. With an average of 20 plus years of dealership experience, Car Edge experts know every trick in the book, saving you time and money. No sales calls, no wasted hours playing games at a dealership, just the best deal on the car you want. WTMJ fans get 20% off. Call 414-667-7413 or visit caredge.com/WTMJ for a free no obligation consultation today.
This time, that station won't make your ad. Next time, another station will come up with it. If there's one thing your small budget needs, it's consistency with your message and your media buy. It's easy to buy the flavor of the month. It's difficult to trust a plan because you'd probably be experimenting. Our plans have been proven to work. We'll get you the lowest rates, give you a consistent message that sets your business apart, and then we'll build you efficient top-of-mind awareness. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. We'll make your ads potent, memorable, and effective. Whether it's radio, TV, billboards, or digital, our understanding of the market and long-standing relationships are unmatched. Anderson Smith represents a substantial amount of advertising billing, which will benefit you in getting much more for your ad dollar. Our compensation model is designed to make it affordable for businesses like yours to use us. And we hold on to our clients because what we do works, and they trust us. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider down and away, and it fooled him.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
After watching video and reading stats and talking to scouts about Drouin, this is going to be the dude you're like, wait, he was in that deal as well? He was in the same trade that got Kyle Harrison because Kyle Harrison was going to be the headliner, and we're already seeing the benefits of that so far.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
You know, a lot of people have been concerned about the Chicago Bears moving to Indiana. But here in southeastern Wisconsin, we're more concerned about real bears in our backyards. On Tuesday morning, Deb Dierbeck glanced out her window, and to her surprise, she saw a bear in her backyard in Slinger. And we've got Deb here on the phone with us right now. Deb, tell us what happened. It was a regular Tuesday morning, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Got up, was having my morning coffee, sitting in a chair that faces south, so where I have two windows, and suddenly a bear walked by.
Now, what was your reaction when you saw the bear?
I was shocked. I mean, I was like, okay, I'm awake. I am coherent. It just was the strangest thing. And it didn't, my dog was barking like crazy, and the bear didn't acknowledge us at all. It just kept moving.
How close to the house did it get?
Pretty close. I have a flower bed like outside those windows, and then that side of my yard is blocked off by arborvitae, so it couldn't have been more than 6-7 feet from the house.
Well, if you're watching us on our streamer on YouTube, you can see a picture of the bear that Deb took. So you had enough wits about you to grab your phone and grab that picture.
Well, not exactly. I had the wits about me to try and take a picture, but out my windows, I could, if you would see those photos, it's mostly screen. So thankfully, I have a camera on my porch, on my deck in the back. And so the camera actually captured that, my deck cam.
Oh, so that's actually a screenshot then. All right, so how big was it? I mean, could you judge at all? I don't suppose you see bears very frequently.
Well, but I pay enough attention to bears because I'm kind of an outdoorsy sort of person. So it wasn't, to me, a full-grown bear. So to me, it was kind of a medium-sized bear. It wasn't, I've seen larger size bears, not in person, but watching videos or so. And when I spoke with a gal from the Washington County Insider, and she said she had been in contact with a gentleman from Washington County who pays attention to bears, and he described it as a juvenile male bear.
So you weren't the only one in the neighborhood that saw this bear. I mean, you had people right close to you who also saw this bear. Did it seem to be going in a particular direction? I mean, was there any, when you talked to some of your neighbors, was there any way to figure out where it came from and where it was going?
I was unclear as to where it was going because I live right next to 41, and the bear headed from here west and into my woods where it disappeared. But I'm not sure. The other person who I'm aware of lives on Nordic Drive, and I'm not even sure where that is in relation to me. I think it's further north of me, but I'm not sure.
Do you have a pretty big thicket of a wooded area right by your house?
It's pretty large. I go back there to tap my maple tree, so there's a woods back there. Definitely a woods that borders all my neighbors' property and then leads to Nordic down below.
And I would assume this is the first time you have ever seen a bear in your backyard.
And probably the last.
At least you hope so, right?
Someone asked me today, did you see that bear again? I said, I don't think I will. No.
Well, the interesting thing is you saw the bear in your backyard on Tuesday, so that was in Slinger. Mm-hmm. We now have reports it was then seen in Jackson, and I think on Friday it was in Saukville. Now, we're not positive it's the same bear, but how many bears are out there wandering around in Washington County? And Ozaukee, for that matter.
Not many. Well, then he must have turned around and headed in the opposite direction.
Maybe. Well, if you see him again, Deb, you've got my number, so please call and let us know.
Oh, I will give you a call for sure.
Deb Dierback, who had a bear in her backyard this Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Libby Collins. Thank you for being here this morning. Reporter's Notebook with Adam Roberts is up next after the news with Tiff Pua. Then I'm going to be back at 11 o'clock this morning with a Kenosha police officer who shot and killed Michael Bell Jr. in November of 2004. Brewers Warm Up with Dominic Cotroneo at 1 p.m. All here on WTMJ.
You know